Welcome back, everyone. Spoiler review of episode 4 of Hawkeye. I broke down each of the last 3 episodes, obviously 1 and 2 in one video. We're not talking about the highly anticipated episode 4, where we're going to talk full spoilers of a couple big reveals in this episode. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, ring the bell. My name is Max, and I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, streaming platform reviews, movie, TV show rankings, as well as a box office breakdown show every single Monday. So please subscribe and ring the bell if you're new to the channel. Also, please comment down below your thoughts on this episode. First of all, this is your favorite episode, least favorite episode, and tell me your predictions for the next couple of weeks. Next 2 episodes. I can't believe we're only 2 episodes now away from being done this show. And then also, please like the video, the thumbs up button. That's how you support this channel. Before we start, again, this is a spoiler breakdown. If you have not seen episode 4, I'm going to full spoilers. And I don't really go breakdown. I really just talk about my general spoiler thoughts of the episode. So let's talk Hawkeye. So the biggest thing about this episode was, of course, Yelena Belova making her debut in the Hawkeye show that was already announced before the show even started. And after the post-credit scene in Black Widow, it opened the door as Julia Dreyfus's character came up to Yelena and said that you have to go after the man who killed your sister, Black Widow, and it was Hawkeye. So we knew that Florence Pugh was going to be in the show. She is in the last really 5 minutes of the show. We'll talk about it in a bit, but this whole episode, we got the big cliffhanger last episode of Jack putting the sword to Hawkeye, and they have a conversation. The 4 of them have a conversation. Vera Farmiga gives really good, kind of brings up that she doesn't want to lose Kate, and how that really has become now Hawkeye's responsibility has become Kate. And again, it's tough in the superhero business to keep losing people and to keep having responsibilities for other people as well. And Jeremy Renner's Clint really has to balance that in this show. But it was also probably the most beautiful scene from Jack, Vera Farmiga, and Haley Steinfeld so far in the entire season. Was a really, really good scene of Kate kind of seeing her mom in a really happy place and kind of joining in on laughing at, Jack in a funny way as some of Jack's sayings. I thought that was a really beautiful scene, showing how far Vera Farmiga's character has come. She was a very dark character, and the fact that she still seems like she definitely called someone who probably is Kingpin about Hawkeye looking into the things, but okay, the tracksuit mafia people, and Jack is the CEO of the people who are funding the tracksuit mafia. That's what Clint finds out this episode. But the scene between Kate and her mom and her mom's fiance, I thought was a really, really beautiful, really nice scene. Then they come home, and I thought it was also great having Kate kind of do their own Christmas, because obviously Clint's having a real hard time making it back for his family's Christmas. So Kate was kind of throwing him something. I thought it was very nice. They did a fun coin flip thing, which I thought was really funny, putting up the tree, wearing the outfits, the movies. I thought it was a really nice scene by Kate, just like last episode where Kate translated for Clint what his son was saying. I thought that was all really good in the episode, but it all really comes down to them going after this watch that Laura, Clint's wife, knows all about, which I think it possibly could be Laura's watch herself, because again, he said that it's someone who he used to work for that does not want their identity revealed. So that's why this watch is crucial. And then when Kate walks in, she realizes that she's in Echo's apartment. But then Hawkeye's like, well, I'm fighting Echo as well, not knowing that he's fighting Florence Pugh in the outfit, which was a really good reveal of Hawkeye was like, I also am fighting Echo. And I was kind of like, is there a shape shifting, scroll stuff happening? But then you turn and, Lopez is fighting Kate, but Yelena is fighting Clint, which I thought was a good back and forth. When they all 4 on the roof, I thought it was really, really brilliant stuff. Florence using those red things that she used in Black Widow, which was, I think Black Widow had a blue version of it. Really, really well done. Again, Yelena was by far my favorite character in Black Widow, and she's one of my favorite MCU characters in the last 5-10 years who were newly introduced. So really, really excited to see her in the show. And Yelena just kicked a lot of butt. The way she moves is really, really smooth. And then as you keep moving, Kate almost falls off the roof. Clint kind of saves her, but then wants her to go away. It's getting too serious now. But then Kate very hilariously runs up the steps, shoots that big arrow that blows everything up. And then Yelena is revealed by Clint, which means Clint doesn't know who she is, but just knows that she is a hired Black Widow. and that it's getting too serious for Kate. Yelena jumps off the roof in a really badass way. After you get the reveal of Florence Pugh's actual face and the blonde hair, she goes off the roof. And that's where we leave the episode with Clint basically saying that he wants to leave Kate out of it. It's getting way too serious. So now it's building up to Tracksuit Mafia is also a villain, but now you have Yelena chasing after Clint. And you have Kingpin and you have Jack as well. There's so many different villains, but I think it's really interesting that Kate also learns this episode that Clint was the Ronin. And how you move past those mistakes and how those mistakes can bite you in the butt later in life. And that's kind of what's happening with Ronin. But also you have multiple people now going after Clint for different reasons. Yelena's going after Clint, not because Clint's Ronin, because Clint is the one who was rumored to have killed, was told to her by, Julia Louis-Dreyfus that Clint was the one who killed Natasha. But you also have the Tracksuit Mafia people and Jack going after Clint because he's assumed connected to Ronin. So I think that's a really, really interesting dynamic. Again, the show is really, really continuously funny. Jeremy Renner and Hailey Steinfeld have great on-screen chemistry with each other. And I'm just genuinely enjoying the show. I'm a huge Florence Pugh fan, was kind of waiting for her to get into the show. I know a lot of people were rumored that Kingpin would show up in this episode. He did not. There was even no reference. There was really one reference to the higher up for the tracksuits of this episode. But for the most part, it was very kept at Florence Pugh was the big reveal of the episode. And it would be really interesting if Laura is the one whose watch that was. And Laura used to be working with Clint. And if Laura could possibly be the Mockingbird from the comics, that would be a really interesting thing. However they can use Linda Cardellini would be great. So that's my thoughts on episode 4. I would say I would rank them. I think 3 and 4 have been my 2 favorite. I would go 3, 4, 2, 1 for me. For Hawkeye. So 3, 4, 2, 1 is my ranking as of now. I'm really genuinely enjoying the show. I know some people are already ranking all the Marvel shows. I'm not doing that until at least I see the finished product of the show. You can't really judge a show and rank them without seeing the finale or seeing the entire show. So I'm going to hold off on ranking this with the other MCU ones, but 3, 4, 2, 1 so far is my ranking of the Hawkeye episodes. I'm really, really enjoying the show. It's such an easy show to watch, not too complicated. The stakes aren't world deciding. So it does make the show very down to earth. And you have 2 amazing actors killing in the lead role. And now you're going to get Florence Pugh is my favorite. So very excited to see all of these actors working together. So those are my thoughts on this episode of Hawkeye. Please like the video, subscribe, ring the bell. More videos, a new Netflix movie review coming on Friday, box office breakdown show. And then the coming weeks also, you're going to have a Spider-Man No Way Home review and then a Spider-Man ranking of all the Spider-Man movies. Then you're going to get a Matrix review and all the Matrix movies ranked. So a lot of rankings are coming out. I'll see you guys then.